Look around you. Most people you know are living the exact same year, 80 times in a row, and calling it a life. They complain about the same problems, they have the same empty bank accounts, and they carry the same unrealized ambitions they had 5 years ago. And they are absolutely baffled as to why nothing is changing. Here is the brutal truth that no one wants to tell you. You do not become extraordinary by adding a bunch of complex, aesthetic morning routines to your day. You don't become extraordinary by taking ice baths or buying a new planner. You become extraordinary by subtracting, by ruthlessly eliminating the habits that are keeping you anchored to average. Extraordinary is not a genetic gift. It is simply the result of refusing to do what ordinary people do every single day. Today, we are going to cut the fluff. I am going to walk you through the 4 habits you must absolutely break if you want to pull yourself out of mediocrity. I don't care what industry you're in, how old you are, or what your background is. If you are doing these 4 things, you are capping your own potential. Let's get into it. Habit number 1, you need to break right now, waiting for the perfect conditions to start. You are procrastinating and you are using preparation as your disguise. How many times have you said this to yourself? I'll launch the business when I have more money saved. I'll start looking for a better job when the market stabilizes. I'll start making videos when I can afford the right camera. Stop it. That is a lie you are telling yourself to avoid the discomfort of being a beginner. There is never going to be a perfect time. The stars are never going to align. The economy will always be uncertain. You will always feel like you lack a little bit of experience. If you wait for the green lights to shine all the way from here to your destination before you back out of your driveway, you are going to die in your driveway. Here is the reality of how high performers operate. They jump out of the airplane and they build the parachute on the way down. Action produces clarity. Clarity does not produce action. You think you need to figure out the whole plan before you take step 1. No, you take step 1, and the friction of taking that step reveals step 2. You don't know what you're doing? Good. Nobody does when they start. The people you look up to just had the guts to be bad at it until they got good at it. Break the habit of endless planning. Give yourself a hard deadline. Give yourself 48 hours to launch the ugly website, make the terrifying phone call, or post the unedited video. Ship the work. Stop hiding behind preparation. Habit number 2, being a professional consumer. Right now, we live in an economy that is divided into 2 classes of people, the creators and the consumers. The creators are getting wealthy, gaining leverage, and building extraordinary lives. The consumers are paying for it with their attention, their time, and their money. Look at your screen time today. How many hours did you spend watching other people live their dreams? How many hours did you spend scrolling through someone else's highlight reel, consuming their content, buying their products, and reacting to their opinions? If you are spending 80% of your time consuming and 20% creating, you have the equation completely backwards. I understand it's comfortable. Consuming releases cheap dopamine. It makes you feel like you're doing something when you're doing absolutely nothing. Watching a 3-hour podcast on how to build a business feels productive. But if you don't actually go build the business, it's just entertainment. You are tricking your brain. To become extraordinary, you must flip the ratio. You need to become a producer. I don't care what your medium is. Write code, write essays, record videos, build furniture, design graphics, organize a community, put something out into the world that did not exist before you woke up this morning. When you shift from consumer to creator, you stop letting life happen to you, and you start dictating the terms of your reality. Catch yourself the next time you open an app just to scroll. Put the phone down, open a blank document, and start producing. Habit number 3, dodging difficult conversations. This is the silent killer of careers, relationships, and self-respect. Most people are terrified of friction. They are chronic people pleasers. They will sit in a toxic relationship for 3 extra years just to avoid a 20-minute breakup conversation. They will stay at a dead-end job, underpaid by 30%, because they are too scared to walk into their boss's office and ask for what they are worth. They choose long-term misery to avoid short-term discomfort. Listen to me very carefully. Your success in life is directly proportional to the number of uncomfortable conversations you are willing to have. If you want an extraordinary life, you cannot be afraid of conflict. I'm not telling you to be a jerk. I am telling you to be an adult. I am telling you to have a spine. When you avoid the hard conversation, the problem doesn't go away. It ferments. It turns into resentment. you start resenting your boss, your partner, your clients. But really, you resent yourself for not having the courage to speak the truth. Stop letting things slide. If a client is crossing boundaries, tell them. If a team member is underperforming, address it today. If you need a raise, build your case and ask for it. Yes, your heart will race. Yes, your palms will sweat. Do it anyway. The moment you master the art of the difficult conversation, you gain a superpower that 99% of the population does not have. You reclaim your time, your boundaries, and your dignity. And finally, habit number 4, you must break the habit of outsourcing your blame. The defining characteristic of an ordinary, mediocre person is the victim mentality. It is always someone else's fault. I can't get ahead because the economy is terrible. I'm out of shape because I have bad genetics. I'm not successful because my parents didn't support me. I didn't get the promotion because my boss doesn't like me. Let's get something straight right now. Some of those things might be entirely true. You might have had a terrible upbringing. The economy might be in the trash. You might have a toxic boss. But there is a massive difference between fault and responsibility. It might not be your fault that you were born into a bad situation, but it is 100% your responsibility to fix it. When you blame external factors for your situation, you are handing over the keys to your life. You are literally saying, I have no power over my future. My future is dictated by the government, my boss, and my genetics. How depressing is that? Extraordinary people practice radical ownership. They look at the mess, even if someone else made it, and they say, okay, this is where we are. What am I going to do about it? The moment you stop complaining and start taking extreme ownership of every single result in your life, everything changes. You stop waiting to be saved and you become the person who saves yourself. No one is coming to rescue you. No one is coming to do the push-ups for you. No one is coming to build your business for you. It is entirely on your shoulders. And that is the best news you could possibly get because it means you are in control. To be extraordinary, you don't need magic. You need discipline. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop consuming and start creating. Stop running from hard conversations and stop blaming the world for your problems. Don't try to change all 4 of these tomorrow. Pick one. Pick the one that made you the most uncomfortable while watching this video, because that is exactly the one you need to work on first.